What happens when Hollywood's most outspoken actress goes head-to-head with daytime television's most controversial host? Today, we're diving into the explosive confrontation that had everyone talking, where Jennifer Lawrence found herself in. The fight of her career against Whoopi Goldberg on The View. This clash was so intense that security had to get involved, and by the end, one of them would be escorted off the set. But before we get into this incredible story, make sure to hit that subscribe button and let me know in the comments what you think really went down. Now let's get into it. The tension was palpable from the moment Jennifer Lawrence walked on to The View set. She had come on to promote her latest film, but what was supposed to be a routine publicity appearance quickly turned into something much more explosive. The actress, known for her candid personality and refusal to back down from her beliefs, was about to face off against a panel that seemed determined to challenge her at every turn. Welcome back to The View. I'm Whoopi Goldberg, Whoopi announced as they returned from commercial break, her voice carrying that familiar edge that regular viewers knew meant trouble was brewing. We're here with Jennifer Lawrence, and we were just discussing her comments about the entertainment industry. Jennifer shifted in her chair, clearly uncomfortable with the direction the conversation had taken during the break. Actually, Whoopi, I think there might have been some misunderstanding about what I said. Oh, there's no misunderstanding here, sweetheart, Whoopi interrupted, leaning forward with a condescending smile. You made it pretty clear what you think about certain people in this business. Joy Behar jumped in, trying to mediate. Maybe we should let Jennifer clarify her position before we, but Whoopi cut her off with a sharp look. I don't need clarification, Joy. I heard what I heard, Whoopi stated firmly, her tone growing more aggressive. Jennifer here thinks she can come on national television and make accusations without backing them up. Sonani host looked visibly uncomfortable, glancing between her co-hosts while Sarah Haynes tried to change the subject. Jennifer, let's talk about your new movie. The preparation you did for the role was really interesting, but Whoopi wasn't having it. No, we're not moving on from this. Jennifer, you want to throw around serious allegations. You better be prepared to defend them. Jennifer's jaw tightened, her famous composure starting to crack. I'm not throwing around anything, Whoopi. I'm speaking from my own experience, and I have every right to share that experience. Your experience, Whoopi laughed coldly. You mean your privileged Hollywood bubble experience. You think that gives you the right to paint everyone with the same brush. The audience began to murmur, sensing the hostility building between the two women. Alyssa Farrah Griffin attempted to interject. I think what Jennifer is trying to say is that there are systematic issues that need to be addressed, and personal experiences are valid ways to highlight those issues. Whoopi turned her glare toward Alyssa. I don't remember asking for your interpretation, Alyssa. The comment stunned the panel into momentary silence. Even the usually quick-witted Anna and Navarro seemed caught off guard by Whoopi's aggressive dismissal of her colleague. Jennifer leaned forward, her voice steady but firm. Excuse me, but you don't get to silence people like that. Alyssa has every right to contribute to this conversation, just like I have every right to speak about my experiences without being attacked. Attacked. Whoopi's voice rose. Nobody's attacking you, Jennifer. I'm asking you to take responsibility for the things you say instead of hiding behind your celebrity status. I'm not hiding behind anything. Jennifer shot back, her patience clearly wearing thin. And I'm certainly not going to sit here and be lectured by someone who spent decades in this industry and should know better than anyone how these problems exist. The tension in the studio was now impossible to ignore. Joy Behar tried once more to restore some semblance of order. Ladies, maybe we should take a step back here, but Whoopi was just getting started. Oh, so now I should know better. Let me tell you something, young lady. I've been fighting battles in this industry since before you were even born. Don't you dare sit there and tell me what I should or shouldn't know. Jennifer stood up slightly in her chair, matching Whoopi's energy. And yet here you are doing exactly what you're accusing me of doing, making assumptions and attacking someone for sharing their truth. Your truth, Whoopi scoffed. Your truth is based on privilege and entitlement. My truth is based on decades of real struggle and real change. Sonani host finally found her voice. Whoopi, I think we need to let Jennifer speak without interruption. The look Whoopi gave Sunny could have frozen fire. I think I can handle my own show. Thank you very much. Sarah Haynes looked like she wanted to disappear into her chair while Ana Navarro was furiously scribbling notes, probably preparing for damage control. Jennifer took a deep breath, clearly trying to regain her composure. Look, I came here to have a conversation, not to be ambushed. If you want to have a real discussion about these issues, I'm more than happy to do that. But I'm not going to sit here and be talked down to. Talked down to. Whoopi's voice was now dangerously low. You think this is being talked down to? Let me show you what being talked down to really looks like. Whoopi leaned back in her chair with a smug expression, her voice dripping with condescension. You want to know what real adversity looks like? Try being told you're not pretty enough, not white enough, not marketable enough for decades. Try fighting for every single role while people like you walk into $1 million contracts. Jennifer's eyes flashed with anger. People like me, you don't know anything about my journey or what I've had to overcome. And frankly, your struggles don't give you the right to diminish mine or anyone else's. Oh, please. Whoopi waved her hand dismissively. Spare me the soba story. You won an Oscar before you were 25. You've been handed everything on a silver platter. Joy Behar could see this was spiraling completely out of control. Whoopi, maybe we should focus on the actual issues rather than making this personal. But Whoopi ignored her completely, her focus laser-focused on Jennifer. You come in here with your prepared talking points, thinking you can lecture us about an industry you've barely scratched the surface of. Jennifer stood up from her chair, her voice rising. I have been working in this industry for over a decade. I've experienced harassment. I've fought for equal pay. I've seen the ugly side of Hollywood that you seem determined to pretend doesn't exist. The ugly side. Whoopi laughed harshly. Honey, you haven't seen ugly. Ugly is being blacklisted for your political beliefs. Ugly is being told you're too controversial to insure. Ugly is having your career threatened because you won't stay silent. Alyssa Farah, Griffin tried once more to mediate. I think both of you have valid perspectives based on your different experiences in the industry. Whoopi whipped around to face her. Alyssa, I've already told you once to stay out of this. Don't make me tell you again. The threat in Whoopi's voice was unmistakable, and Ana Navarro finally spoke up. Whoopi, you can't speak to our colleague like that. This is supposed to be a discussion, not a dictatorship. A dictatorship. Whoopi's voice was now shaking with rage. I've been hosting this show for years, building it into what it is today. And you want to call me a dictator for trying to maintain some order. Jennifer had heard enough order. You call silencing your co-hosts and attacking your guests order. This is exactly the kind of toxic behavior that drives people out of this industry. Whoopi stood up abruptly, her chair rolling backward. Toxic behavior. You want to see toxic behavior? How about coming on someone's show and insulting their character on national television? I haven't insulted anyone's character, Jennifer fired back, also rising from her seat. I've pointed out problematic behavior which you've been demonstrating perfectly for the last 10 minutes. Sunny, host, looked panicked, clearly seeing how bad this was getting. Ladies, we have commercial break coming up. Maybe we should take a moment to cool down. No, Whoopi declared, pointing a finger at Jennifer. We're going to settle this right here, right now. You think you can come into my house and disrespect me? Jennifer stepped closer, not backing down an inch. Your house. This is a public platform, not your personal kingdom. And I haven't disrespected you. I've disagreed with you, which apparently you can't handle. The audience was completely silent now, watching this confrontation unfold in real time. Sarah Haynes looked like she was about to cry, while Joy Behar kept looking toward the production team off camera, clearly hoping for intervention. Can't handle disagreement. Whoopi's voice reached a new level of intensity. I've been handling disagreement since before you knew what the word meant. What I can't handle is entitled little girls who think their fame gives them the right to lecture their betters. That was the final straw for Jennifer. My betters, who exactly do you think you are? You're so threatened by anyone who challenges your narrative that you resort to personal attacks and age discrimination. Age discrimination. Whoopi laughed bitterly. Now you're just making things up. This isn't about age. It's about respect. Something you clearly know nothing about. Ana Navarro tried desperately to regain control. Can we please just take a step back here? This conversation has gotten completely derailed. But Jennifer was done being diplomatic. No, Anna, this conversation needed to happen. This is exactly what's wrong with this industry. People in positions of power who abuse that power to silence anyone who doesn't agree with them. Whoopi's face was now red with anger. Abuse of power. I'm trying to run a professional show and you're turning it into a circus. I'm turning it into a circus. Jennifer gestured toward the panel. Look around you, Whoopi. You've attacked me. You've silenced your co-hosts. You've made personal insults. If this is a circus, you're the one running it. Joy Behar made one last attempt at peace. Jennifer, Whoopi, we're all professionals here. Let's try to find some common ground. Whoopi turned to Joy with fire in her eyes. Don't you start too, Joy. I expected better from you. Expected better. Joy's voice showed her own frustration, finally breaking through. Whoopi, you're being completely unreasonable. Jennifer came here as our guest and you've done nothing but attack her. The betrayal, Whoopi felt, was written all over her face. So now my own co-hosts are turning against me after everything I've done for this show. Sunani host found her courage. No one's turning against you, Whoopi. But you're not listening to anyone, not to Jennifer, not to us, not to reason. Alyssa nodded in agreement. We're trying to have a productive conversation, but you've made that impossible. Whoopi looked around the table at her co-hosts, all of whom were now aligned against her behavior. Fine. If that's how you all feel, then maybe none of you deserve to be here. Jennifer seized the moment, and there it is. The moment anyone challenges you, you threaten their jobs. This is exactly the kind of behavior that creates hostile work environments. Hostile work environment. Whoopi was practically screaming. Now you want to see hostile. Keep pushing me and see what happens. The threat hung in the air like a dark cloud, and Sarah Haynes finally found her voice. Whoopi, you can't threaten people like that. This has gone way too far. But Whoopi was beyond reason now, her anger consuming any sense of professionalism she might have had left. Jennifer crossed her arms and stared directly at Whoopi. What exactly are you going to do? Whoopi, have me thrown off the show for disagreeing with you? Is that your idea of professional discourse? Don't test me, Whoopi warned, her voice low and dangerous. You have no idea what I'm capable of. Ana Navarro had clearly had enough. Whoopi, stop making threats. This is embarrassing for everyone involved, especially the show. But Whoopi spun around to face Anna with renewed fury. Embarrassing? You know what's embarrassing? Having my own panel turn against me for some Hollywood princess who thinks she knows everything. Hollywood princess. Jennifer stepped forward, her own anger now matching Whoopi's intensity. You keep using these condescending labels because you can't actually address the substance of what I'm saying. Joy Behar looked toward the cameras with obvious concern. We really need to go to commercial break right now. No. Whoopi slammed her hand on the table. We're going to finish this conversation. Jennifer wants to come in here and make accusations. She can defend them to the end. Sunani host stood up from her chair. Whoopi, as your friend and colleague, I'm telling you to stop this right now. You're destroying your own reputation. The word destroying seemed to hit Whoopi like a physical blow. My reputation has survived decades in this business. While people like her come and go like the weather, Jennifer shook her head in disbelief. This isn't about longevity, Whoopi. It's about basic human decency, which you've completely abandoned. Human decency. Whoopi's laugh was bitter and cold. Let me tell you about human decency. Human decency is respecting your elders. Human decency is not coming onto someone's show and attacking their character. Sarah Haynes finally found her voice again, though it was shaking. Whoopi, Jennifer never attacked your character. She shared her experiences, and you turned it into a personal war. Whoopi's gaze shifted to Sarah with pure venom. So you're against me too, now, Sarah. After everything I've done to mentor you and help your career, this isn't about being against you. Sarah replied, her voice growing stronger. This is about what's right and wrong, and right now you're wrong. The betrayal Whoopi felt from her co-hosts was palpable, but instead of backing down, it seemed to fuel her anger even more. Fine, if you all want to side with her, then you can all deal with the consequences. Jennifer stepped closer to the table. What consequences, Whoopi? Are you threatening your own co-host now? Do you hear yourself? I'm not threatening anyone. Whoopi shot back. I'm stating facts. Actions have consequences, and disrespect has consequences. Alyssa Farah Griffin stood up slowly. Whoopi, I've remained quiet through most of this, but I can't stay silent anymore. Your behavior right now is unacceptable by any professional standard. Whoopi turned to Alyssa with fire in her eyes. Professional standard. You've been on this show for 5 minutes, and you want to lecture me about professional standards. It doesn't matter how long I've been here. Alyssa replied firmly. Wrong is wrong regardless of tenure. Jennifer nodded toward Alyssa. Exactly. And what's wrong is using your position to intimidate and silence people who disagree with you. Silence people. Whoopi's voice cracked with rage. Nobody's being silenced. You've been talking non-stop since you got here. Because I refuse to be bullied, Jennifer declared. But look at how you've treated your own co-hosts the moment they expressed any disagreement. That's silencing behavior. Joy Behar made one final attempt at mediation. Whoopi, please, let's just take a breath here. We can work through this. But Whoopi was beyond reasoning. Work through this. There's nothing to work through, Joy. Either people respect me and this show or they don't belong here. Ana Navarro stood up abruptly. That's it. I'm not sitting here and listening to ultimatums. Whoopi, you need to apologize to Jennifer and to all of us. Apologize. Whoopi's voice reached a crescendo. I'm not apologizing for defending myself and this show against someone who came here to attack us. Jennifer threw her hands up in exasperation. Nobody attacked anything. I shared my experiences. You turned it into World War III. At this point, the producers could be seen frantically signaling from off-camera, clearly trying to figure out how to handle this unprecedented situation. The audience sat in stunned silence, witnessing what was clearly television history in the making. Sunani host made one last plea. Whoopi, I'm begging you as your friend. Please stop this. This isn't who you are. Whoopi looked around the table at her co-hosts, all standing now, all united against her behavior. You know what? If this is who you all really are, then maybe I don't know any of you at all. The only person we don't recognize right now is you, Sarah said quietly, but her words cut through the tension like a knife. That seemed to be the final straw. Whoopi looked directly at Jennifer with pure hatred. Get out. Jennifer blinked in surprise. Excuse me, you heard me. Get out of my studio, get off my show. You're not welcome here. The entire panel gasped audibly. Joy Behar immediately spoke up. Whoopi, you can't just kick a guest off the show. Watch me, Whoopi replied coldly. Security. The call for security sent shock waves through the studio. Jennifer stood there in disbelief as 2 security guards approached the set. This is unbelievable, Jennifer said, shaking her head. You're literally having me removed for disagreeing with you. I'm having you removed for being disrespectful and disruptive, Whoopi declared. But her voice now sounded hollow even to herself. As the security guards reached Jennifer, she looked around at the other panelists. I hope you all remember this moment. This is exactly what I was talking about when I mentioned abuse of power in this industry. Ana Navarro stepped forward. Jennifer, we are so sorry this happened. This doesn't represent who we are or what this show stands for. But as Jennifer was being escorted toward the exit, she turned back one final time. Actually, I think this represents exactly what this show has become under this kind of leadership. The words hung in the air as Jennifer Lawrence was escorted off the View set, leaving behind a panel divided and a host whose reputation would never recover from this moment. And that's the incredible story of how Jennifer Lawrence got kicked off The View after her heated clash with Whoopi Goldberg. The fallout from this confrontation sent shock waves through both Hollywood and daytime television, proving that sometimes when powerful personalities collide, the results can be more explosive than anyone could have imagined. What do you think about Whoopi's behavior in this situation? Was she justified in her actions or did she go too far? Let me know in the comments below.